Okay, so we're going to be making this jig for the juice groove for our cutting boards. So I'm starting with some 3/4 inch plywood. I'm going to go ahead and do 4 rips at 2.5 inches. And then I'm also going to do I'll probably do 5 at 2.5. I want to be able to put something on the sides, so this way we'll be able to clamp this down. So we'll go ahead, we'll start 2.5, get our table saw set, lock that into position. I'm going to go ahead and lower my blade. Just gonna move these out of the way. All right, there's our 4. Yeah, I'll do 2 more, I guess. We're gonna go 40, and then I'll go by 28. So I'm gonna cut 2 of these down to 28 inches. Perfect. One of the things I did notice here is that these boards are definitely bowed a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll take one and end up putting it on the side here and screw it in to keep that straight, which I was planning on doing to have a clamping surface anyway. I wasn't necessarily planning on going the full width, but I think for the purpose of the 2 long sides, we'll use these 2 for our clamps on the long side, and that'll be our straight edge also to straighten those. And then I'll actually rip this in half. This is 3 inches, 3 1/8, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to bring this over to 1.5 inches. We'll do 2 equal rips at 1.5 inches. All right. So those ones will get cut down for the sides. Next thing I want to do is start preparing the slots that we're going to router in. So let's put these off to the side so we don't mix those up. So we're going to be using these knobs. These are 8mm. So I'll probably do, I mean, that's a little over, that's about 5/16. So I'll probably do like a 3/8 groove. In these boards, we're not going to go the entire distance. And then basically what we're going to end up doing is I have some threaded wood inserts coming. I didn't have any for 8x125, but those are going to go in the end. So once we have these grooves, it'll be slotted just about to the end. We'll be able to put this nut into that nutsert, and we'll be able to thread this to tighten it. So it'll be fully adjustable all the way around. All right. So what we're going to do here, rather than just trying to router out that entire 3/8 of an inch groove, I'm going to use the table saw. We're going to try to take out a good chunk of that material first, and we'll go over to the router table. So again, these rips are 2.5 inches. Half of that, which would be our center, is 1 1/4. We get 3/8 of an inch groove we want in that center. So basically that's 3/16 each way. So really we need like 1 1/16 to 1 7/16. I got my blade set to 1 1/8. So that's 1 1/8 inches of material between the blade and the fence. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do a plunge cut. I did have to remove my riving knife off my table saw. I normally keep that on there, but I did remove it for this purpose. So this way I'll be able to take this. I'll be able to do a plunge cut. I'm just going to line this up here. I'll do a plunge cut. I'll slide it forward, and then I'm going to take it off. I'm going to flip it, do the same thing, and we'll probably end up with a small piece in the middle. We'll probably just be able to break out of there, and then we'll bring it over to the router table. So let's get started. All right, so as you see, there's one. I could probably even go a little further, but for what we're doing, I just wanted to show you guys, and then we'll go and we'll probably be able to use like a screwdriver or something, just break that out of there. I know I'm trying to use my scale here to show you guys, but we'll just go ahead and break that on out of there. Yeah, I'll end up grabbing a little chisel, break that out of there. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do all 4 of these, and then we'll go over to the router table. I'm over at the router table now. We got this set at 1 1/4 to center. So that should be the center of this groove we cut. So I got my guide set up there. I'm going to go ahead and get this set. I'm going to push that down. I'm not actually going the full depth right now. I'm going to take probably about half of it, slide this through, we'll flip it, we'll do the other half, and then we'll raise it up and we'll finish it off. Okay, so I went just about to the edge of my guide there, my ring. I'm going to take it, I'm going to flip it over. You know, something looking at this, it looks like it's probably not perfectly centered. I did just go off of my marks on here, because I know it don't matter that much, but if we go in now, it's going to end up being a little wider than we had wanted. So what I'm going to have to do is come back here and do a plunge cut somewhere around there and just keep it going the same way the whole time. So now you guys can see we're about halfway there. I want to make sure I keep this in the same direction, just because, like I said, we'll end up being off a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and raise this up. We'll go the rest of the way through now. We probably could have to begin with, but all right, I know you guys can't see them off camera, but I'm just going to go ahead and drill myself a 3/8 hole right in each end. Make it a little easier for doing our plunge cuts. All right, and as you can see, that vacuum don't do a whole lot with this, with the dust in this router table. Not the best dust collection. So there you go. So there's our first one. Grooves all cut. Okay.